Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof,
or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press,
or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition
the government for redress of grievances.
I think journalism matters in our democracy because journalism is information at its core. I think people need information. I think people should be informed about what's going on in the world. I also think journalism is important in our democracy because it's also storytelling at its core. And so with storytelling, you can create empathy, and with empathy comes understanding. I've never seen journalism play a role in balancing power in our democracy. I think it's always been an aspiration for reporters and journalists to do that, but I think it's been important, or I think it's been influential in bringing light to certain situations. For example, the Me Too movement, March for Our Lives, Black Lives Matter, things like that. But even though there's been a lot of dialogue around those issues, I haven't seen any like real policy change, and I haven't seen any balancing of power, and that's because it takes more than, unfortunately, it takes more than journalism to rearrange the balance of power in our democracy, and that systemic oppression is like deeply rooted in their country's DNA, so it's going to take longer than that.
I think that journalism matters in our democracy because we're the people who get the information out, the correct information, hopefully, out to those who don't know what's going on. I think that as journalists, we strive to bridge like barriers between people, I guess. Getting information to those who are either like not associated with those things, don't know what's going on, aren't a part of certain cultures. People who live in bubbles. I think that's our goal, is to kind of create like a platform where everyone can like choose to be informed.
I feel like after my work has been published or, has been introduced to the people who were already included in it or people who haven't seen it before, that's not what I think of. I think of like the people I meet along the way and how that shapes not only how my work comes out, but then also like how people perceive what I'm doing. Say, for example, when I was shooting a story for the Latino Film Fest, me and my photographer are standing outside and we're talking to people, and these groups of ladies come up and they're like grabbing my press pass and they're like talking to me and they're like just, I don't know, sharing their experiences, talking about like their everyday life in their community and like their experiences, and that makes me happy. And they're like, we're just talking to me and they're like, oh, you could come with us, you could, talk to us about these things, and they're like, oh, you're working, like, go do that. And I was like, thanks, that's very sweet.
How would I want to use journalism? Well, I want to voice out opinions and like tell stories that are not usually put on media, specifically like the LGBTQ side of things. I think we're very underrepresented, and our side is usually told by people who are cisgender or who are straight, and that doesn't make any sense to me for people to tell stories of others that they can't, like, they don't know the experience of. So I think just having more visibility and more journalists that are LGBTQ who understand the struggle and kind of can, like, tell the stories more eloquently and more accurately.